Hello again, it's been ages, hasn't it? I think I said something like that at the beginning of the last video. Good news though, for the most part the core combat loop is getting pretty close to being finished. I've been struggling with tipping back between slow and methodical gameplay and more fast-paced, action-orientated gameplay, where you're struggling to keep alive and keep your combo up. While this isn't as unique, I've decided to keep the fast-paced approach. The reasons for this are twofold. One, I've already done the work, and I want to finish this project sooner rather than later at this point. And I'm not sure I'll have the content to flesh out a slow, more methodical gameplay style. There'll probably be conflicting issues of what's already there being turned into a more methodical play style, and I'm sure I'll have to do a ton of rebalancing. So I'm thinking I'm just going to stick with the fast-paced approach, as I'm confident I'll be able to actually finish something decent with that right now. Right, so I'll run through a couple of things I've added since last time I've shown you this project. The ammo and health pickup visually have been redesigned, and I've also added a combo extended pickup as well. I'm still working on the pickup effects. We've got the sonic boom effect for when you're traveling at top speed for a short period of time, and I've improved the explosion effects, though they're still a work in progress, they're not quite where I want them yet. One of the biggest changes, and still probably one of the biggest ongoing challenges, is the weapon rebalancing. So originally, primary weapons used ammo, which needed pickups to be refilled, and secondary weapons simply regenerated ammo over time when they're not being used. Though through playtesting we've found some primary weapons should be regenerating ammo and some secondary weapons should probably be using ammo pickups to refill their ammo, which has led to a bit of a conflict of what should be considered a primary and what should be considered a secondary, also in terms of just how powerful the weapon is. So this whole primary and secondary thing is getting completely thrown kind of out of whack since we're still trying to define what is a primary and what is a secondary. I'm tempted to remove ammo completely and just have weapons either on cooldown or regenerating their ammo. And the flip side to this would be ammo pickups now just instantly refresh whatever cooldown they've got, or give a burst of new ammunition for whatever weapon's regenerating their ammo. I'm thinking this is what I'm going to go with, and we're probably going to completely take all the weapons out and reclassify them into primary and secondary based on their functions and what sort of synergizes well with each other, because all primaries should synergize with all secondaries and so on. So yeah, we're going to have to do a bit of work on that, but I'm fairly confident we can figure out something pretty good. I've already been working on that and it shouldn't be, fingers crossed, shouldn't be too hard. So currently we've got 2 abilities, and I'm working on 2 more. One which will remove all projectiles on screen, and then a final 4th one which will repair your ship. This will total 4 abilities, like the ship options, and the primary weapons, and the sub-weapons, everything has 4 options. I'm definitely thinking of retooling the 2 abilities we have now, the dash that does damage, and the teleport that does burst damage on the teleporting location, but you know, one step at a time. So the art style, I've been debating about this back and forth with myself, whether change the fidelity, is this sort of pixel look the way I want to go, how detailed should the models be. You can see from some of the earlier concepts here where we're going with more of a low-res PS2 blended texture look, and then we've switched obviously now to a straight-up sort of hard pixel kind of look with no dithering. And I'm thinking now, for time reasons and in the interest of getting the project actually done, I'm going to stick with this more sort of no dithering, hard pixel kind of look for the whole thing, and keeping all the models rather low poly. Which is what we've got already, so I mean, hey, that works. Because of this, I'm also mimicking that in the explosions and particle effects now. Those were always very... I was confused about what I was going to do with that as well. I wasn't really getting anything I felt worked too well. But now with this sort of low poly, I keep calling it hard pixel, it's obviously not what it is, but you know what I mean. With this art style now, I feel like sort of very low poly explosions, chunky pixels, chunky meshes, big flat solid colours really work with the sort of effects we're going for in terms of mixing well with the art style. So that's the way we're gonna continue forward with that one. So, enemies. Hoping to make the grunts movement a little bit more erratic than it currently is, since they'll always be sort of present and in your face. Making sure the grunts are as interesting as possible is important. I need to finish the 2 final bosses. They're both in the game. They just need to be properly fleshed out, given proper behavioral changes. Make sure their weapons and sort of combat loop is working well. Make sure all their hitboxes and stuff work, make sure their health is balanced and all that, but that's very soon on the to-do list. There's a final enemy, I'm not sure what I'm even calling it at this point, but it's kind of like a carrier that'll spawn new ships in behind it. Rather light defense, something for more of the end game, so you want to take out before it swarms your screen with more enemies. It's got a lot of armored panels across the side as well, and armored panels is something I need to bring up. Quite a few of the ships have sort of armored sections you can blow off that sort of protect them from taking any real damage, and we found that was just annoying to fight because you'd be shooting a ship and you'd be taking out armored panels and you'd lose your combo because you're not actually destroying any ships. So what we're doing now is when you destroy an armor panel, your combo timer will be reset, so you'll have another fill duration to pick up a kill or destroy another armored panel before you drop your combo. I think this is definitely the right step forward, as it was rather annoying when you're desperately trying to get another kill before your combo drops. The combo extender pickup too should help with this as well. So the in-game UI still needs a redesign. The original one was sort of, the idea of it was to be as unintrusive as possible, so a lot of transparent areas around the edges of the screen and stuff. However, I found that's just made it more difficult to read, and the idea was to not block your vision so you could see more of the screen and thus more of the enemies and potential threats. However, through playing it and playtesting, I've realized that having smaller, more bold and eye-catching UI in specific areas of the screen will probably be a lot better. So running with that, I'm going to try and redesign the UI. One of these issues was the distance from the centimeter down the bottom with just the numbers popping up that were color-coded. Well, I mean, obviously it was still work in progress, but the idea of it just being sort of the numbers down the bottom, that really isn't going to work, so we're going to have to change it to some larger color-changing element that's easier to read at a glance. Because you'll often find yourself right on the edge of the play area without even noticing. Maybe making the arrow that's sort of guiding your ship to the center of the map again, making that change color too could be it, but we'll see. The main menu and the hangar menu still haven't been changed. They obviously needed a complete redesign. Again, the functionality is basically working, but all the assets are still placeholder. I'm kind of feeling at this point this will be probably the last thing that's done on the project besides maybe the actual option menu. I've been talking with Musician and some other people about making some main menu music. We've actually got that and I've implemented it, and it changes depending on what menu screen you're currently looking at. It's really good. Next, we're obviously going to need to get some in-game music and probably some other tracks for different parts of the game. I'm still figuring out exactly what kind of style of music I want for the in-game soundtrack, so I don't want anyone to start making anything and then go, actually, I want something a bit different. That'd be really bad. So we're, still figuring that one out. Sound effects, anything that's in the game currently is still very much a placeholder, and that's going to be a real tough one. Definitely gonna need to try and find some sound effect libraries and stuff to work and remix for this game. Currently, I don't have any, and I'm gonna need some help tracking some down, so I'll be talking to a bit of people about that. So what's next? What's happening right now? So currently the weapon rebalancing, definitely changing the primaries and secondaries over, probably getting rid of ammunition completely and just having it on cooldowns and it automatically regenerating, and then the pickups obviously resetting those and stuff. Implementing the final two abilities and fixing up the first two. Definitely sort of working on the visual feedback for damage and actually scoring kills and stuff. Visual feedback is obviously very important in a fast-paced game like this. And then once we've got those done, I feel like the player's core loop is good. We've got it down then. Then it'll be fixing up the rest of the enemies. And then sort of with this core loop of the player and the enemies, obviously next will be the in-game UI. Getting the player, the enemies, and the in-game UI, just the core gameplay loop of what you'll actually be doing in the game working well. That's it. Get that done. Then I'll be starting to work on the music again, and then we'll go to the actual menus and the options, and then we're practically there. So we're getting close. It's just there's a couple of sticky hurdles still to get over. So yeah, that's the update. Hopefully next time I talk to you, the core sort of complete experience is completely done, and we're just trying to finish stuff like the menus and the sounds and whatnot. So yeah. Fingers crossed. If you come here from the animations or the Armor Up videos they're going off, obviously this is a little different. I should probably have different channels for some of these things I do, but I don't put out enough content. I think that warrants having multiple channels. So you're kind of stuck with this mess of an eclectic experience that is I. Anyway, yeah, try and get this stuff done. Hopefully, I'll have another one of these before how long it took to get this out between this and the last one, so yeah. Hopefully before the end of the year I've got another one. Anyway, thanks for dropping by, I'll catch you later.